Hi everybody, welcome back to the final bit of the series. So this is part 3. If you haven't watched part 1, part 2, I'm going to share the link on the screen so you can go watch part 1, part 2. So this is the part 3 of this series. If you're just joining in for the first time, thank you for coming in. Stay tuned and then also subscribe to my channel. This is Lindy SFX, and if you're already a subscriber, thanks for watching as well. Do share, comment and like my video. So at the moment I'm just taking out the prosthetic out of the mold. In my part 2 series I showed you guys how to make this cast, so you can do it for yourself as well. So I'm using this tool to take out the prosthetic out of the mold, and after which I'll be applying it directly on my skin. So the first thing I'm going to do is spray on some alcohol just to take off any excess oil on my skin. The next product I'll be going in with would be LINDY SFX PROS-AIDE. So this is going to serve as my adhesive before applying the silicone prosthetics. So I'll just be applying this on the area where I'll be placing the silicone prosthetics. And allow this to dry until it goes transparent, and that's when you know that you're ready to apply the prosthetics onto your skin. So this is a very good adhesive that is really suitable for silicone. So right now you can see that it's completely clear and a bit sticky. So this is when you know that you're ready to apply the prosthetics. So I'm going to start on one end and slide that onto my skin. So I'll go in like this. Take it down. So I'm going to press the middle part to ensure that it's firm and well placed. Then what I will do now is I'm going to drag the edge and place. So this will ensure that there isn't any folds on this part of the prosthetics. So if it's stuck on your skin, you can lift it up and drag. So drag and place. Drag and place. And it's quite firm, you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do is come back to my acetone, go in with my Q-tip to dissolve this part out of the prosthetic, as we do not need this part anymore. Just a little bit of acetone. So I just transfer the acetone in this container so it's easy for me to access the product. So I'm going to be applying the product on the edge here and kind of like rolling it out. I'm going to go in and try to clean up the surrounding area, and I'll be right back when I'm done with this. So the next thing I'll be doing would be to blend out the edges of the prosthetics using acetone, and I'll be rolling it out like this. So I'm going to try this method to see if I can have a nice finish in terms of the blending process. But if not, I'm going to go into the next method I would use to blend out the edges, because it's quite paramount that you do this. It's quite paramount that you do this because this in itself would give you the best finish in your application. So blending it out didn't work. I'll be going in with LINDY SFX silicone paste. So this is part A, part B. And I'll be mixing both portions on my mixing bowl. I'm going to start with part A. So when you're mixing the products together, ensure that you're using the same portion. Okay. So this is part A, and I'm taking this portion which I feel is okay. And I'm going to take the other end to scoop out my part B. So you don't want any of part A in your part B, okay? And it has to be the same quantity we have here. Okay? I think I'll take a little bit of A. Alright. The SFX silicone paste, part A, part B. So I'll be mixing both together. So ensure you mix them up properly. And after mixing this together properly, I'm going to allow it sit on here for like 2 minutes. So it gets a bit thicker for me to use. I'm just going to start spreading it out evenly on the area where I want to cover. So the reason I'm doing this is I really want the edge of the prosthetics to blend seamlessly to my skin. It is quite important you do this, as it kind of like determines a whole lot. Yeah, it goes a long way. So I'm just going to spread it out before working my way into it. So I'll start to smoothen it out now. So take your precious time when you do this. Blend into the prosthetics and blend out. If you're applying directly on someone, I feel it will be a bit easier and faster for you to do. So when you're doing it on yourself. But I just have to make it work, innit? Take your precious time. Don't be in a hurry, as this particular process is going to either ruin everything or make everything. So pour in some alcohol in here, spatula in the alcohol, and try to blend the tip out. So alcohol helps the silicone, helps try to break down the silicone a bit. So I'm just doing this just to ensure that everything is smoothing out. So I'm going to go in with my fingertip. I just need to be sure. Be careful not to pick up the product. Okay. All right. So I'm going to allow this set. I'm going to give this an extra 5 to 10 minutes to set. So once it's fully set, I'm coming back to this. And I would also advise, when you're mixing your part A, part B for the prosthetics, try to use your shade. For some reason, I don't know why I use pale, but the next I'm going to use brown, dark brown, so it's easy for me to blend this into my skin. All right. It's fully set, but it's going to appear sticky. That's one thing you should know. Silicone gets sticky when it's fully set. So I've got here baby powder, and I'm just going to lightly brush over what I have, just to take off the shine and the stickiness, as you don't want that during your application. I'm going to pour in here some foundation. You can use any foundation of your choice. So this is the foundation I use for myself. So this is Lindy SFX oil-based paint, and I'll be scooping out a bit of this red. And the reason I'm doing that is because I just want to give the foundation a bit of an undertone of red. So I've got here a blending sponge, and I'll start working my way into the prosthetics, and I'm going to spread it evenly so it doesn't come out kind of pasty. So don't be scared. I know it looks not well blended into my skin, but we're going to work our way into it. I just wanted to have something on the base that I can work with. So the next product we're going to go in with would be our skin illustrator. Anything, I just put in some tissue paper in there before I spray. So I'll be going in with a seal spray, just to create a barrier between the foundation and the next product I'll be going on top. So I'm going to allow this dry. Allow it dry down. So the next product I'll be going in with will be Lindy SFX Skin Illustrator, and I'll be working with shades on here, probably working within this range of shades. My applicator would be this, because I need to stipple this on the area where we are working with, and I poured in some alcohol. You need alcohol to dissolve the products. So I want to give you like an airbrush feel rather than it looking so pasty. So I'll start to sprinkle this around that area. So you can see the difference between this part, right? And this part. This part and this part. This part. So I'm going to go through this process one more time. The reason I went for the shade lighter is because my base shade is quite dark, and to correct that I needed to use a shade lighter. So the next shade I'm going to come in would be this. So you can see that I've got like a pinkish undertone, and that's what I'm coming back with this for. So I'm going to do a very light wash over everything with this shade. I'm just trying to bring everything to life, and I'll be extending it out into my skin, but more on the inside than I would on the outside. Then on here, so you can see that there is a difference between how it was and how it was when we started and how it is at the moment. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go in with liquid latex. This is quite optional, but I do this so I have everything all sealed on this area. I'm using a sponge to do that, and I'm going to staple it around in a stapling motion. And you don't need too much, you need just a little amount of product. Okay, so I would say do a very thin layer first. Do a very thin layer, then you can come back to build on it, but do a very thin layer first. So I'm going to allow this dry down first before going in with the second application. So just like I said, the essence for this would be to ensure that everything that we applied on here stays the way it is, and it's not going to transfer to anybody. So I'm going to allow this dry again and come back. I'm going to take some powder just to take off the shine from the liquid latex. Good. Then come back to my setting spray just to ensure everything looks good. This will be the next product I'll be working with. This would be seated on top of that area. So just like just like I already said in my previous videos, you need to apply this. You need to dissolve this product with alcohol for it to work. So I'll be going on top just like so. It's too much product, so try not to apply too much product at a time. this shade. I'm going to use this brush. So this will be the next product I'll be going in with, and I'm going to wash this over on some areas inside of the wound. So I'll do it in here and on this corner. And just on this part. So this is going to go everywhere. But I'll place this product more on some part. Okay. So pay attention to color placement. I'm going to allow this dry down before going in with the second layer, and I can apply the second layer. So you can see it looks more intensified compared to the first layer. Okay. Good. I'm going to have a brush over on this, but blending out. Just the tip. I'll be putting the product in some part of the wound, not everywhere. I'm going to do this twice, allow this part dry down and go over it again. Just blending out everything. So this time around, I'm going to wash this shade across the entire part of the wound. So I'm just going to stipple it around like this, but still maintaining what I've got inside of it. So more like to bring everything together. Okay. So this actually looks good. It does. So I'll be playing around with these three shades. The first thing I'm going to do is this, and I'm going to create some kind of tension just around what we have. And the stippling sponge is going to help me disperse it evenly. Some of the purple melted there. Just going to work that around. Oh, need more product, more alcohol rather. Just apply and take off, apply, take off, apply. take off. Just gonna dip it in like that, like so, ensuring I have got okay. So I'm going to strategically place this red as I don't want it too much anywhere. Okay, place it more on this part and here, then just maybe spread out, but I'm gonna take more and place it here. So the next product I'll be adding would be this drying blood, and I'll be applying this on just on the inside. So I'll pick the product and place it on the inside of the wound. Then have a wash over it on the entire part of the wound. I'll be going in with this green, and for some reason I just want a wash of this part in here. Okay, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna wash it out without taking too much detail. All right. So I'll apply some liquid latex on here, and I'll put in some paper towel. You can use a cotton wool for this. You can use anything just to, I just need some extra texture on this area. So the next shade I'm going to use would be blue. I'm going to go over here with some blue. Then come back with this red. With the blue again. Okay. And with the red. Going to apply the blue on the deepest part on here. Then go in with the red. Okay. So I'm going to scoop out some scoop out some Vaseline. The essence of this Vaseline is just to create a little shine. You don't want too much shine, but at the end of the day, you don't want it looking really dull. So I'm just going to go over everything with some Vaseline. It is non-transferable. Here I've got no product. You can see it wouldn't transfer. Final product would be some aloe vera. You can use any aloe vera of your choice, or you can use any other product that will give it a glossy finish. Go in and spread. Oh, I need more. Okay, but don't do too much. This on the inside. You can see that the product is not moving on the inside. The only thing that would move would be the drying blood. Some of the drying blood in some area here and here. And yeah. Bye. But if you ask me, I don't think I need it. It all came together, giving us a very gorgeous looking wound. And yeah, I'm so excited to be done with this series. If you would like to recreate this, do tag us and we'll be so excited to hear from you. All products are available. If you would like to have some of the products that we've got, you can send us a DM via Instagram. And yeah, thank you for watching and join us in the next series. I'm glad to have you here. Bye.